welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a great day so far. So today I'm going to declutter my blush collection because as you guys can see, my collection has gotten a little bit out of hand. I'm not sure when this happened or how it happened, but it's definitely time to go through and declutter and just downsize my collection. So I don't know if I have a specific number in mind today. I just want to be a little bit more selective about the products I keep because I do tend to use the same blushes over and over anyway. So if I haven't used it in the past year, it's time to declutter it and pass it along to somebody else. If you guys missed any of my previous declutter videos, I will link the playlist in the description box below because I definitely have quite a few declutters. So let's jump into it and start decluttering. Okay, let's start right here in the front. I have a bunch of the Tarte Amazonian clay blushes, which these were my first higher end blushes. I think they're amazing. They stay in place really well and the color selection is amazing. They have so many beautiful colors. So I am a huge fan of them. There are a few of them that I wear often and then a few that I don't really wear. So this one has made it through declutters. I think at one point I did declutter it and then I ended up adding it back into my collection, which I don't do often, but it is such a beautiful blush. But you guys, I never wear it. It's just way too dark for me. I am more of a natural blush fan. I don't even know if this one is available anymore. It's in the shade Flush, but I am going to go ahead and pass this along to somebody else who would actually get use out of it. I am going to keep the shade Empowered, which is a really beautiful light pink with shimmer in it. And then I'm also going to keep the shade Tipsy. I wanted this one for so long and it is a gorgeous coral. I haven't used this one a ton, but I definitely want to make sure I get use out of it during the spring and summertime. Exposed is definitely one of my favorites. I'm actually trying to use this one up in 2017 because I have had it for a while, so I want to make sure I keep using it. And then I have the shade Magic, which is really beautiful, but it's a little bit too bright for me. Tipsy is a little bit more of like a sheer coral, and this one is more of a hot pink. So I am going to declutter this one as well. So this one is from Milani. It is the Romantic Rose Powder Blush. It's definitely one of my favorites, so I am going to hang on to this one. And then I have the theBalm Cindy-Lou Manizer. This one is kind of like a highlight blush all-in-one, which is my favorite type of blush, so I'm going to keep this one as well. I have a few of the Maybelline Master Highlight by Face Studio. They actually ended up, I think these are discontinued. I haven't seen them in stores, but I love these so much. They're kind of like a blush highlight all-in-one, so I am going to hang on to the 3 of these. Actually, I think I will declutter this one. This one is in the shade Pink Rose, and it's probably my least favorite out of the 3 of them. I really like these two because they're more natural looking on the skin, and this one's just a little bit too pink for me, and I have shades that are similar, so I'm going to declutter that one. I have a couple of the Laura Geller Blush-n-Brighten shades. So I have Roseberry, which is really beautiful, Pink Grapefruit. This one is in the shade Tropic Hues, and then this one is in the shade Golden Apricot. I am going to keep these. These are like my absolute favorite blushes of all time, so I'm going to hang on to these, but I am going to go ahead and declutter these. So these are the City Color Be Matte blushes, which I really like these. I think they're a great option. I have some brighter shades, which I just really don't end up wearing, so I'm going to pass those along to somebody else. And then I have this shade, which is Papaya. It's really beautiful, and it is a color that I would wear, but it kind of reminds me of Tarte's Exposed, so I'm going to declutter this one as well. So I really just don't like cream face products. I've tried them so many times, and I've tried to like them so many times, but I just never end up wearing them. The only somewhat cream face product that I like are the ColourPop blushes, bronzers, and highlighters. So I am going to declutter both of these e.l.f. blushes. These are from their Beautifully Bare line. They're so beautiful. If you're a cream blush fan, I don't know why I have a hard time saying that. If you are a cream blush fan, I think you would like these. They're just, I don't really like them because I don't end up using them. I have the e.l.f. HD blush, which again, this is a really beautiful blush. It's so pigmented, and if you are a fan of cream products, you will definitely like it, but I just don't wear it, so I'm going to pass it along to somebody else. I got this Sephora product in a subscription box, and honestly, it is a nice product. It's really beautiful, but I won't use it, so I want to make sure somebody else can get use out of it as well. I have this Laura Mercier blush in Rose Petal, which is a really beautiful color. It's so small, so if you guys are purchasing it, I feel like there are a lot of other blushes that are just a better value, so I probably wouldn't recommend purchasing it just because you get such a small amount. Not that it's really easy to use up a full-size product, but anyways, I just have other shadows, or no, other blushes that are similar to this that I like better, so I'm going to declutter this one as well. So I have a few of the Instain blushes from theBalm. I don't know, let me swatch these and decide whether or not I'm going to keep them. So the pink one is Argyle and the coral one is Swiss Dot. Obviously this is a pretty heavy-handed swatch, but I feel like both of these blushes are a little bit too bright for me, so I am going to pass them along to somebody else because they're basically brand new. So I have Hot Mama from theBalm. I'm definitely going to hang on to this one. It's just a really beautiful corally pink. I do wear this one a lot during the spring and summer, so I will definitely use this one. Also from theBalm, I have the Balm Desert. This one is like a bronzer and blush all in one. It's just a really beautiful color. I like to use it as an eyeshadow, so I'll definitely keep this one as well. I I just added the Too Faced Papa Don't Peach blush to my collection. It's really beautiful. So far, I'm a huge fan, so I definitely want to keep trying it out. That way I can decide, I mean, I'm definitely going to keep it, but that way I can decide if it's one of my favorites. So I have 3 of these e.l.f. duos. They come with a blush and a bronzer, and I really like them. Let me see if I need all 3 of them though. So this one is in the shade St. Lucia. It has a really beautiful shimmery blush, and I think the bronzer has a very small amount of shimmer in it too, but I am going to hang on to this one. I love the blush. This one is their matte blush duo in Soft and Subtle. I am going to keep this one. I don't really use the shade on the right, but the shade on the left is a really beautiful contour for people with lighter skin tone. So if you're looking for a good contour color, this is a great option because it's a little bit more cool tone and it has really like no hint of orange in it. So I really like this one. I'm going to keep this one too. I mean, I don't need all 3, but I do really like them. This one is in the shade Fiji. It comes with 2 matte products. The first one is obviously a blush, the second one is a bronzer, but I'm a huge fan of these products, so I definitely recommend all 3 and I'm going to hang on to them. This is from Too Faced. It is their Soulmates Blush Bronzer Duo. They came out with a few of these a few years ago. I think they were limited edition because I'm pretty sure I got mine from HauteLook for a discounted price. It's so cute, and obviously if you are like a fan of the couple that they represent, it's like a fun keepsake, but I never wear it, so I'm going to pass it along to somebody else. I don't know if I mentioned, that one was Ross and Rachel. This one is Carrie and Big, and again, I don't wear it, and the packaging is just really bulky and like not fun to store, so I'm just going to give it to somebody else who will get more use out of it than I did. I have a Makeup Geek blush in the shade XOXO. The packaging is so beautiful. That's why I'm tempted to keep it, but the shade is just so pigmented, which could be really nice if that's what you're looking for, but it's not a color that I would wear, so I'm going to declutter this one. So I have an e.l.f. Pressed Mineral Blush in Sweet Retreat, which is really beautiful, and a Pressed Mineral Bronzer in the shade Baked Peach. I love the formula of these products. I think they're so soft and beautiful and just really subtle, so I am going to hang on to both of these. I do have a few of the Becca Mineral Blushes, which I love. Again, I think they were one of my first higher end blushes, and I'm a huge fan of the formula. But let me see which colors I have. Okay, so from left to right, I have Wild Honey, Gypsy, and Damselfly. I am going to keep all 3 of them. I was going to declutter Gypsy. I don't know, it doesn't look like something I would wear, but it's really unique. It has like this gold reflex in it, so I am going to hang on to it and see if I can kind of incorporate it into my makeup routine. And then back here, I have my Benefit Boxed Powder Blushes. So I already know I'm going to declutter Hervana because I never wear it. The packaging is so cute, but I mean, honestly, I can't keep it based on packaging. I've tried this one so many times, and I just don't ever end up wearing it. I swirl it all together. It just doesn't look good on my skin. So I'm going to declutter it and pass it along to somebody else. I'm going to keep Dandelion. This one is like my absolute favorite of the moment. It's just a really beautiful light pink, and it doesn't look like anything special in the box, but on the skin, it's amazing. I'm going to keep Sugar Bomb. Coralista is like my second favorite. I love Bella Bamba, and that one was discontinued. And then Dallas is a really beautiful, like, natural shade. I didn't even realize these were back here, but I have 3 blushes from theBalm. I used to wear these all the time, so let me swatch them and decide whether or not I'll still use them. Okay, so from left to right, I have Down Boy, Cabana Boy, and Frat Boy. I am going to hang on to Frat Boy because that's a color that I would wear. The other 2 are so beautiful, and I remember loving them at one time, but I just don't wear them anymore, so I'm going to pass them along to somebody else as well. So they did repackage these. I'm going to keep the new ones and declutter the old one because honestly, I'm not a huge fan of that shade. They redid Pearlescent Pink, and it looks completely different. This is what the new one looks like, and then this is what the old one looks like. So it is a completely different shade. I don't ever wear the older version, so I'm going to keep all 3 of the new ones and declutter the older version. I have 2 of the Essence Silky Touch blushes, which I love. They're super affordable, really pigmented, but at the same time really subtle, so I am going to hang on to those. And then I have my e.l.f. Baked blushes, which are some of my absolute favorites, so I'm going to hang on to those as well. This blush is from Motives. It's in the shade Naughty. It is the most beautiful coral shade that I probably own, so I'm definitely going to keep this one. Here's a quick swatch of it. It's kind of like a highlighting blush. It's just really beautiful. And then, of course, I'm going to keep Milani's Luminoso because that is one of my favorites. It's just a beautiful formula and a really beautiful color, so I definitely recommend it. Okay, let's go through and declutter some of the ColourPop blushes. I really love ColourPop products, and I kind of use them interchangeably between my face and my eyes, so it's hard for me to get rid of any of them just because I think they're so beautiful, but there are definitely shades I don't wear, so let me swatch them. Okay, so starting from the left, that one is Bardot. I would wear that one as an eyeshadow, so I'm actually going to move it to my eyeshadow drawer. The second one is Holiday, which is a brighter pink, but see how it's like really subtle, so I feel like it's a lot more wearable, so I'm going to keep Holiday. The third one is Flushed. It's from the K-pop collection. I'm going to declutter that one because it's probably not a shade I would get a ton of use out of. And the fourth one is Birthday Suit. Again, it's like a brighter shade, but it's more subtle. So I am going to hang on to that one as well. I'm going to keep Between the Sheets. It's a really beautiful, like natural color. And I'm also going to keep Aphrodisiac. This one is just a really beautiful, subtle color as well. I am going to declutter Cruel Intentions and Never Been Kissed. They actually dried out on me, which I haven't had any ColourPop products dry out on me yet. So these are my first. The blush itself is just like rock hard, and it was really hard to get like any color pigmentation. So I think they would be too bright for me anyway, but I'm just sad they dried out, which means my other ones will probably dry out too. So I need to make sure I actually use them. Okay, so here's my collection downsized. I need to reorganize it, but I'm really happy with the progress I made. I'm decluttering all of these. That's a good amount of blushes. I don't remember exactly how many. I'll put the number on the screen, but I feel like I did a pretty good job. I think all of the blushes in my collection are shades that I'm actually going to get use out of. I got rid of a lot more of the dramatic shades and bright shades, so I'm excited to give them to somebody else who will enjoy them. But that is the end of my video. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch. I will see you guys in my next video. Of course, if you want to watch more declutter videos, I will link my playlist in the description box below. Otherwise, like I said, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.